Welcome to Maribyrnong Home Coders for Maribyrnong Library Service. My name's Andrew. Today we're going to create a colour guessing game. Right here you can see our Scratch Studio, which is called Maribyrnong Home Coders. So right here we have the colour guessing game. This is the whole project which has all of the code included. And we also have a template, which is what we'll be using today. So if we click on the template, I'll show you what's inside it. So if you would like to join in on this, you can go to this page and there will be a remix button up the top. So if you click on that, you'll then see a screen a lot like this. Now we're on the codes tab and there's no code here, which is exactly what we want. We do have a costume, which is why I've created the template, just to save you lots and lots of time. So I've created a version of the elf in our mystery colour, which is orange. Sorry about the spoiler, but that was always going to happen because we're going to have to code this anyway. So let's go back to the code screen. Oh, it's orange. Well, let's find out how we fix that, because we want it to look black and white when we start our project, don't we? So let's begin by creating an event. So we're going to use the when green flag clicked button to begin. And then what do we want to do? We want to make sure that this costume is black and white. So we're going to go into looks just over here on the left. So we're going to switch the costume to Elf A. So that means whenever this green flag is clicked, it's going to switch to Elf A, which is exactly what we want. And the next thing we want to do is to start creating the guessing game. Let's have a look. I reckon we want to ask something, don't we? Which is probably what's my favourite colour. So we're going to have to go to sensing down here. And there's a handy button that is an ask button. So let's pop it under here and let's ask, what's my favourite colour? Or can you guess my favourite colour? Yeah, let's try that one. Can you guess my favourite colour? Let's help us if I spell favourite correctly. And I'm going to do the English/Australian way of spelling colour. Alright, so that's what we want to ask. So what about the answers? So if someone gets the right answer, we want something good to happen. If someone doesn't get the right answer, we want to get them to ask again, or to answer again. So let's go to the control area. So we can have, oh yeah, so if something happens, then something else happens. But we want to have two different options. I think we're going to use this one, which is if something happens, then this happens. Otherwise, something else happens. Okay, so if the answer is orange, then we get the happy thing. If it's not orange, we get asked again. Alright, I think that's the one. So, how do we ask, or how do we make the answer orange? Let's go to this operators area. So we've got an equals sign here, so if we drag that over, so we want to change our answer from 50 to orange, and we want to have answer in here. So let's go back to sensing, because we've got an ask, we need an answer. We have this handy little answer here. Now I think this will make sense. So we're asking, can you guess my favourite colour? And waiting for a response. So if the answer to this question equals orange, then something good's going to happen. But what about if we get it wrong? We want to ask again, don't we? So What do we want to say if they get it wrong? Try again? Something like that? Let's just try it. Try again. Maybe I'll say something a bit more like a conversation. That's not it. Try again. Yeah, that's a bit like you're talking to someone. And let's see what happens. So we've clicked on the green flag. So we've got our elf asking, can you guess my favourite colour? So we'll go blue. Yep, so that all works. But nothing is going to happen if we get it right. So we want something fun to put in there. So that's where that orange elf comes in. We're going to change the costume. So we'll go back to looks, and then we'll go to switch costume to elf B. Let's try that. Can you guess my favourite colour? Blue? Was it blue? No, that's not it. Try again. Let's try orange and see what happens when we type in orange. Nothing. That's interesting. We want it to keep asking. So let's go to control and we'll click on the forever. So let's put the forever in. So that way it'll keep asking until it gets the right thing. So let's click on green flag and see what happens. Blue. Is that the right one? That's not it. Try again. Orange. Aha! That's pretty good. We also want to say something, don't we? So I reckon we might want to say... Oh yeah, this is snappy. Here we go. So say... Orange it is. You're quite the whiz. Yeah, that rhymes. You're quite the whiz. And we'll make it 4. Is 2 seconds long enough? You want to bask in the glory of getting the answer right. So let's make it 5 seconds. Okay, now let's click on the green flag again. Can you guess my favourite colour? Aquamarine. It's one of those colours that you find in paint sets. Is that right? Nope, that's not it. Try again. Orange. Orange it is. You're quite the whiz. Hey, that's pretty good. I reckon we might want to add in some sounds now, because, you know... Oh, actually, you know what we should do? We should change the background as well. The background would look much more interesting if it wasn't just a grid. So the way we do that is we click on backdrops just at the bottom right corner of the screen, and we're going to look for something orange. This farm is pretty orange. Yeah, that's seriously orange. That's almost camouflaged. But if we change that and we click stop, and then we click the green flag, hey, it's still the farm. So we're going to need to add some extra code so that it doesn't just stay as the farm background and give away the answer. So we might want to do the same thing that we did at the start, where we had the costume set to go back to Elf A. And we can do the same with backgrounds. You can't see a backgrounds tab up here yet, but if we click on the stage down where the backdrops are, then magically the backdrops tab appears in place of the character tab. So if we click on that, we can see 2 backdrops, which means we can choose between them in the code. So let's go back to the code, click on the elf, and there's a bit of code here that is switch backdrop to. Now we don't want to switch to farm at the start because we want it to be that boring grid one. But we do want to bring back the farm at the same time as we switch the costume to the orange one. So let's drag that switch backdrop to farm down here as well. Okay, now let's start from the beginning with the green flag. Can you guess my favourite colour? Let's try burnt umber. That's another one of those paint set colours. Burnt umber, is that right? So close to orange, but that's not it. Try again. Let's type in orange. Orange it is, you're quite the whiz. It's still not terribly exciting. I think we should add in some sound. So, we have a look and see what sounds we can do. Kind of like that kind of messenger sounding percussion that we used in our previous project, which was Knock Knock 2. I seem to remember that was right down the bottom of the percussion. Tap conga, that's the one. Maybe we should try a different one. Let's try tap conga. Oh yeah, that's quite good. What about muted conga? I think I like tap conga better. Yeah, let's try tap conga. Alright, so we'll make that appear, or that sound begin, whenever our elf asks or says something. So we'll go to sound. We want to choose the sound tap conga 2. There we go, and we want to put it just before it asks, can you guess my favourite colour? Now the reason we use start sound and not play sound until done is because it's going to wait until the sound is completely finished before doing anything else. So if you chose a really long sound, like, I don't know, some laughing or some clapping, it would do all of the laughing or all of the clapping and then ask the question. So it's a good habit to get into if you want everything to flow. So what else could we use? We probably want like a hooray sound and maybe a sound for if we get it wrong. So let's see what other sounds we could find. I seem to remember that there is a pretty good ta-da sound in here. T, 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 T. T for ta-da. But you can use any sound you like. There we go. That's the one I want. And what about a sound? Let's find something that sounds kind of like you failed. What do we got? What looks like a word that's kind of... Let's see. Oh, well, oops. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's try oops. Okay, let's go back to our coding. So we want to pop one in if we get things right. So just before it says orange it is, you're quite the whiz. So let's start sound. We don't want oops because that was the doo-dum sound. But we do want ta-da. And now if we get it wrong, we want to start the sound oops. Okay, let's try our project and see where we're at. Just make sure all the code's on the screen. And go. Alright, so let's try a colour. Let's just try plain old green, the opposite to orange. That's not it. And it sounds like it's not it as well. Let's see what happens when we type in orange. Oh, that's satisfying. Oh, hang on. That's just going to loop forever. So maybe we need to make our code stop after it says ta-da. Because I mean, it's great that we've guessed the colour, but you know, it's not amazing. So we can probably find in our control area something that might... Oh, here we go. Stop all. Let's pop that in right after orange it is, you're quite the whiz. And let's start our code again. Hopefully this will do everything. Okay, so we want to choose grey. Is grey the right colour? Totally not. What about brown? No. What about orange? Great. And are we going to get another ta-da? No. So we are finished. We have a usable Guess Your Favourite Colour game. Pretty good. I hope you've learnt a lot from today, and feel free to remix this project, remix other projects on Maribyrnong Home Coders, and if you have any questions or problems, please contact us. We're very happy to help. So thank you for joining us today. My name's Andrew, and we'll see you next time for Maribyrnong Home Coders for Maribyrnong Libraries. Bye!